So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I went from this to this, a journey from chaos to creativity, from a cluttered mess to a creative heaven. Follow along as I walk you through my home studio setup, sharing some tips and tricks. Also, I'm going to be telling you the reason I chose to have my studio set up this way, the inspiration behind it, how I got some of the gadgets, and how much it cost me to have this setup so you can also recreate. You are welcome to SOUNSICC. My name is B Flat, and I have been in this creative space for over a decade, transitioning from being a musician to a music producer to a live sound engineer and now a media production head.
SOUNSICC.
Now that the intro is out of the way, let me walk you through how I had my studio set up. So as you can see, all I have here is a space of 6 feet by 6 feet. So which means I have limited space to have all my studio set up. Having known the limitation I have, the first thing I did was to go online. So I went online and I searched for a rug of 4 by 5 feet. All what is going to be on this rug is going to be my table and my chair. Because the table is made out of iron, I want the rug to cushion the impact of the iron so it does not affect my carpet. So now the table is going to be a small table of 1.5 feet by 4.5 feet, and everything that's going to be on this table is just my laptop, my sound card, my mouse, and few other things. The table stands are made up of iron, so I got a flat surface made up of wood and I lay a carpet on it. So that is that for the table. Let's go into the gears. So the first thing I have on my table is my sound card, of course. I chose this particular brand of sound card because of few things. Number one, unlike the regular sound card that you just power with your USB, the sound card has its own separate power source. In turn, that is going to help the preamp of the sound card. So I chose the Scarlett 8i6 with 2 XLR inputs and most importantly 2 headphone outputs, because I know that if I'm having an artist or probably I'm having somebody recording, I also want to monitor whatever that person is recording. I have 2 headphones, one for the artist and one for me. And then for the speakers, I'm having an M Module BX8. I chose this because I just want to have just one speaker. I could have gone for the size 5 honestly, but I need that low bottom end in my production. I need to hear that bottom end, and I don't want to have more than one speaker because of the limited space I have. So I know I needed to go for the size 8, and I actually got this from a friend. He has so many speakers. He wanted to get rid of one of them, which was this BX8. So I told him, okay, I can have that. So I haven't got that now. Then I needed to go for the stand. So I went online also to shop for a regular speaker stand. The reason I chose to have my speakers on the floor is to avoid the table speaker resonance. Now for the microphone, I'm using a Shure SM7B, and I went for this because I know I'm not going to have an acoustic treatment in my studio. To help me reduce the mic from picking surround noise, I know I needed to go for a dynamic mic, but not just ordinary dynamic mic, because for that microphone I can actually use a cloud lifter, or in my case a dynamite, to apply a phantom power on the microphone. So now to the headsets, I have here an Audio-Tech M50X. This is actually an old headset, almost 2 years now. So I just make it clean, and of course I am good to go. For my MIDI keyboard, I have an M Audio Keystation 49 and of course a regular keyboard stand, then a sustain pedal. I also have my acoustic guitars on the wall. And for my laptop, I have here with me a Mac 2015 Pro. I also bought a 1TB SSD that I can walk directly into. And for the MacBook, I also have a laptop fan that I got online. So this laptop fan helps me to cool down the system from beneath, because sometimes when you are exporting or when you have a lot of plugins stacked on your vocal chain, the laptop start making noise, start getting hot. So I have this fan under helping me to cool my system from beneath. For the plugin, I'm making use of a Logic Pro X for my DAW. I specifically chose Logic because of some few reasons. Number one, I love the way the interface is arranged, and secondly, the mixer session, especially the Sense on fader, it mimics a typical live digital mixer. For the plugins, I make use of Waves. I have the complete Waves 14 bundle, and the reason for that is because whenever I am on live settings, I make use of Super Rack. So I have these Waves that can be used for the live setup, and also in the studio. Because of the limited space I have on my Mac, I decided to go for a 1TB SSD that I can just walk directly into. By doing that, it saves me space so that my system performance doesn't slow down. My primary source of inspirations are the flowers I have in this studio and the lights. I love nature so much, so I love to have flowers around me, and the light specifically, I just love how it feels. So for the main light here, I have a Godox SL62BI with a 25cm softbox and a grid, so it can help me soften the light effects. Also, I have a LED light that I use for my ambience, other USB lights that are used to create ambience around the flowers. In a typical studio, you will see a typical gaming chair, but I chose this static chair because I get easily distracted by movement. So I went for this static chair to help me focus. And now for the connections, a USB type A to a USB type B is connecting my MIDI keyboard to my system. A USB type C and a USB type A is connecting my sound card to my system. And of course, a USB type B is connecting my hard drive to my system. And my system is having only 2 spaces for USB. So for this reason, I needed to go for a USB hub of 3.0 so I can have my MIDI keyboard connected, my sound card connected, and my hard drive connected, including my mouse. So my speaker is connected to the sound card via a jack to XLR. Then my mic is also connected to my sound card via XLR to XLR. So in total, I have 6 connecting cables. Finally, the budget. I know this is what some of you have been waiting for. The first item on the list is my laptop and my laptop stand. So the laptop, I got it 2 years ago. I got it around 250,000 naira. And of course, the laptop fan, I also got it online for about 25,000 naira. For the sound card, I also went online. I got it around 415,000 naira thereabouts. Now for the MIDI keyboard and stand, I got it through a friend. The MIDI keyboard is around 113,000 and the stand about 25,000 naira. So for the speakers, like I said, I got it from a friend of mine, very discounted price though, 250,000 naira. And for the stand is about 80,000 naira. So going to the table construction and chair, the table construction cost me about 45,000 naira and the chair cost me about 50,000 naira. And for my guitar, for my acoustic guitar, I had this guitar over 10 years now. I probably cannot remember how much it costs. And for the mic, I got the mic around 350,000 naira and the dynamite is about 25,000 naira. For the headphone has been with me almost 2 years now. I got it around 115,000 naira. For the light, the softbox and the C-stand, everything cost me about 670,000 naira. And for the LED lights also, the ambience light and the other small USB light cost me about 70,000 naira to get those. So in total, that's about 2.4 million naira. But the good thing is that I did not buy all these things at once. I bought them one after the other. Common mistake to avoid when trying to set up your home studio is that in as much as having equipment is good, don't have it at the back of your mind that you need to have or you need to buy everything in the market. Buy what will solve your production need. Know what you want and why you want it. And one of the main reasons I have my studio set up this way is because I mostly deal with live production and live recording. I can actually have my overdub session, my mixing and mastering session. Depending on the kind of production you are into, you can have your studio set up in any way you feel you can. So let me quickly make a recap on my studio setup. First, we have the studio layout and the measurements, where I said I have a 6 by 6 feet. The next is the equipment and gears, where I got the sound card, the microphone, the laptop, the speakers. The next is the software and plugins, where I talk about the reason I chose Logic Pro X and my go-to plugins. Next is the workflow and creativity, where I talked about my extra 1TB SSD and also the flowers and the lights. And finally, the practical insights, the budgets and the tips to having a good home studio setup. So that is a wrap on my home studio setup. I hope you do find some useful tips. On my next video, I'm going to be heading over to one of my colleagues' studio and we're going to be breaking down his production setup and how it goes about to achieve his production. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching and see you on my next video. SOUNSICC.